Now, there are a few of the new cards that are coming in for the OCG that I am kind of impressed with. The Killer Tune are some of them that I just haven't really looked at yet. So I figured we'd get like a live reaction, me reading some of these cards, reading into the whole archetype, and seeing maybe exactly how it works and if it's any decent or not. But yeah, no. First things on the block would be Killer Tune Mix. Very interesting card art. I've been noticing a lot of these cool things that they've been doing with a lot of the newer cards, such as with the Malice and stuff, where, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but like right about here on the corners of each of the cards, they've been putting like these weird borders. I don't know if that's like a feature for some of these newer cards, but I like it a lot. I like it a lot. The art is very, very beautiful. I like the hair being the aux cables. Do you know who that reminds me of? What's that one girl in My Hero Academia? You guys know who I'm talking about? The girl with the earlobes that plugs into anything? Jodo Kyoto? I have no clue who that is. Alright, so this is a level 2 Wind Warrior Tuner Effect Monster. Jesus Christ, it's a mouthful. And it's an 100 attack, 2000 defense. If this card is on the field, would be used as Synchro material. One tuner in your hand can be used as one of the other materials. That's nice. You can use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. One, if this card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can add one Killer Tune monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except for a level 2 monster. That's weird, because aren't all of these level 2? No, okay, so this next one's the level 3. Okay, sweet. That's looking for your level 3s then. You're only level 3, actually. Okay, interesting. 2. If this card is sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Ooh, okay. Interesting. I like that. I like that a lot. I could do that. Let's see here. The second card in the archetype is the Killer Tune Clip. Definitely some more interesting artwork. They're going a little bit more edgy, but they still have those new borders. I don't know what it is. I like these borders a lot. These little side border things. They just look so fucking cool. This is a level 2 Dark Thunder Tuner effect monster, so we've got a Wind and a Thunder. Interesting. If this card is on the field, it will be used as Synchro material. One tuner in your hand can be used as one of the... Okay, so that's the same thing as the last one. Especially summon this monster from your hand. Immediately, the effect resolves. Okay, sweet. This is the same thing. If this card is sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, you can banish one random face-down card from your opponent's extra deck. Okay. Yeah, I think Killer Tune Kashtira might be a good little mix here. There's a remaining level 3 monster to be revealed. There is, which is this one right here. Killer Tune Rusio, or Reco? Is it Reco? Not Rusio, it's Reco. Killer Tune Reco, a level 3 Fire Fiend Tuner effect monster. With pretty decent art. They're keeping very, very similar here. I do like how the art's starting to go over the edges though, over the border that I've been talking about as of recent. Looks really nice. Do you guys think they're gonna be able to keep the name Killer Tune when they switch over to the TCG? I don't think that's gonna be a thing that's like allowed. They've changed names in the past for being too violent before, so I assume Killer Tune's gonna be a bit maybe too violent. They're gonna have to switch it over for something a little bit more lighthearted. Lovely Tune. Baby, may I call you Dear Tune? Jiro Koyoka is the girl from My Hero Academia with the headphone jack earlobes that you asked about. Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes sense. All right, so what is the effect of Killer Tune Reco? This card is on the field, uses that's the same thing as the first one, monster from your deck. Okay, so the third effect is the final effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard Synchro material, you can target one spell or trap your opponent controls, destroy it. Okay, easy enough. So everything's the same about all of these cards, except this one destroys a card that is controlled by your opponent. This one randomly banishes a face down card. This one randomly banishes face down from the extra deck. And then this one right here just destroys a spell or trap. I guess not bad. We're finally going to go ahead and get into a little bit more of the synchros here with Killer Tune Track Master. Dude, I'm really enjoying the artwork for these cards, guys. I don't know if anybody else is, but these artworks look really fucking nice. I've been enjoying like a lot of the newer stuff. The Malice artwork looks really good. I'm a little upset that they dropped the border that I've been talking about. In all of the other cards, the borders around here have been nice and like etched out and have really cool artwork. Now they've kind of went back to the old full border kind of thing, which isn't bad, but just not sticking with theme. Let's go ahead and see what it's about. This is a Light Machine Synchro Tuner Effect monster, level 4, a 0 attack, 2500 defense. One Killer Tune monster plus one tuner. If this card is on the field, it would be used as Synchro material. One tuner in your hand can be used as one of the other materials. You can use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1, this card special summoned, you can add 1 Killer Toon card from your deck to your hand. That's pretty simple. 2, if this card is sent for the graveyard as Synchro material, you can return 1 card your opponent controls to the hand. Okay, so this is just going to be like a destruction, make your opponent not be able to do anything kind of deck. I'm not seeing where the attack's coming from though, because everything here has had pretty weak attack. 800, 100, fucking 1500 is the highest I've seen so far. All right, so up next we have, this is Toon Remix. She's got probably the best art that I've seen out of all of them so far. If I'm just being, she's got a nice mix of the, they added the borders back in. She's got nice firepower. I don't think those are going to be able to stay for the American artwork. They're going to have to switch out the gun casings and the gun firing for like some sort of weird electric gun. Past that, not bad, not bad. I like the artwork a lot. Let's go ahead and see what she's about. This is 1 Killer Toon mix plus 1 plus tuner monsters. Okay, so 1 or more tuner monsters. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. 1, it gains 1500 attack while your opponent has a tuner monster on the field or in their graveyard. Interesting. That's a weird by chance effect, but I like it. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can tribute this card, take 2 non-synchro tuners from your graveyard, add 1 to your hand, and if you do, special summon the other, then, immediately after this effect resolves, you can synchro summon 1 tuner. That is nice. That is nice because of the effect of all the other monsters, they can use themselves as tuners from the hand, so they can synchro from hand by using the material they just added back in. That is smart, I like that. It doesn't really, once again, give you much in the sense of attack. That's a 3000 attack at most if your opponent has a tuner in their graveyard. So it's by chance, for sure, but it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. Killer Toon Red Seal. Okay, you know what? This might be the best artwork. I might have lied last time. This might be it. This might be it. I like this a lot. All right, so Killer Toon Red Seal is a Dark Fiend Synchro Tuner effect. Killer Toon Reco plus 1 or more tuners. You can use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. It gains 300 attack per okay, so this is where your attack's coming from. It gains 300 attack per each tuner in the graveyards, so mine and my opponent's, which is nice. The levels of the monsters your opponent controls with 1700 or less attack, original attack are increased by 1. Okay, so they can no longer do their synchros if they want to. During the main phase quick effect, you can banish 1 tuner from your graveyard, then target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effects until the end of this turn. Banish 1 tuner from the grave, and we have a bunch of tuners as long as we stockpile. That's not bad. That's not a bad boss monster. I like that a lot. What could they do past that? Ash Blossom and Effect Veiler are both tuners, so having a tuner in your opponent's grave will be no problem. That's true, because both of those hand traps are tuners. Shit, you're right. Alrighty. What do we have next? We have Loudness War, which is a radio, a boombox, and a bunch of different sound equipments with robotic hands coming from the universe behind it. Holy crap, it's a weird art. I'm not sure how I feel about this art in comparison to all the other ones, guys. This art might be a little bit off. I think this art might be a little bit iffy. Continuing onward though, Killer Toon Loudness War. It's a Light Machine Synchro Tuner effect monster, level 6, 0 attack, 3000 defense. 1 tuner plus 1 or more tuners. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. Other tuners you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, your opponent cannot target them with other card effects. That's insane. That is nice. Okay, so this is your protection card. You need this at the end of your board to make sure nothing else gets busted. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can banish 1 Killer Toon monster from your graveyard. Apply its effects that activates if sent to the graveyard as synchro material. What does that mean? When your opponent activates a card effect, quick effect, you can banish 1 Killer Toon monster from your graveyard. Apply its effect that activates if sent to the graveyard as synchro material. You know, I'm not entirely sure what that means. Is somebody else more knowledgeable on that wording? That one looks weird to me. All of its original monsters are really cool because they all have just unique effects, such as this one destroys, this one banishes face down from the extra deck, and this one destroys a monster. Their spell cards, I've been told, are relatively decent. Let's go ahead and check in with our good friend over here, Killer Toon Synchro. Very, very, very cool artwork. Probably, if I was to say out of all of them I've seen so far, this is the artwork that wins. This is definitely the artwork that wins out of all of them. This one's so fucking cool, dude. I don't know what, I think it's the dragon eye and the flame, but it just looks so fucking sweet. So this is Killer Toon Synchro. You can only activate 2 cards with the card's name once per turn. You can only activate 2 cards with this card. Oh, okay, so you can activate this twice. Interesting, I like that. You cannot special summon for the rest of the turn until after this card resolves, except for tuners. Also, add 1 Killer Toon card from your deck to your hand, except for Killer Toon Synchro. Then immediately after this effect resolves, you can Synchro summon 1 tuner. Okay, so this is just a quick Synchro, as well as a lock. Interesting. We've got Juke Joint, also a really nice art. I like these like edgy, like weird, dark, deep arts they're going down with this archetype. It reminds me a lot of like a kind of what they did with Fiendsmith, where they're taking it to like a weird rock punk vibe, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. They've been doing some interesting stuff here. All right, so we have Juke Joint Killer Toon. It's a field spell. You can only use the 3rd effect of this card's effect once per turn. During your main phase, you can normal summon 1 tuner in addition to your normal summon set. You can only gain the effect once per turn. 2, Killer Toon Loudness War you control gains 3,300 attack while your opponent has a tuner on their field or in the graveyard. That is insane. So if you use Killer Toon Juke Joint with Loudness War, I think that equals out to like a 6,600 plus whatever else gets added on top of it from the other monsters. That is wild, dude. Holy crap. You contribute 1 tuner, add it to your hand, or special summon 1 Killer Toon monster from your deck. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except for tuners. You could use this to special summon into your Killer Toon Loudness War, and then you just have basic game right there. Does Loudness War have a negation on it? I can't remember. All right, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, your opponent cannot target them with other effects. No, but it is a basic shield. That is so nice. Does it stack though? It only says that you can only use the 3rd effect of this card's name once per turn. So I assume 1 and 2 are doubled. Then again, you can only have 1 Killer Toon Juke Joint on the field, so you're only going to gain that 33. Unless you want to, say, have more than 1 Loudness War out, in which case then both of them would, yeah, have 66. That would be pretty insane. Absolutely insane. GG's. Very cool archetype so far. I'm liking this a lot. All right, so we have up next Killer Toon Playlist, which is just a couple of albums on the art. You know, that's cool. I like that. You know what I wish they'd do? I wish they'd do a little bit more, maybe world building here. I want to see Fiendsmith on one of these albums. He's always playing his fucking guitar and shit, hanging out. Where is Fiendsmith in all of this music related stuff? Target 1 Killer Toon monster you control in your graveyard. Apply these effects in sequence. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn after this effect resolves, except for tuners. So it's a tuner lock. Applies effect that activates if sent to the graveyard as Synchro material and return it to the hand. So you activate its secondary effect, and sorry, its 3rd effect, and then you send it back to the hand to play it later on anyways. That is ridiculous. That is a free effect plus a free card. I like that a lot. It's a +1 technical. It's a flat technically because you're getting rid of the trap card. But it's still good to have that effect out. Reprints and this is all stuff we don't really care about. That is insane. That is insane. A very, very, very cool archetype so far, guys. I'm liking that a lot. That is going to be interesting. How do you guys feel about that? I can't wait for these to come to pass.